Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about solving inequalities. Alright, so the cool thing about inequalities is that when you solve it, you're solving it just like you're solving an equation. The only difference is, here's the one exception. So everything in yellow I need you to write down. This is super important. So when you're multiplying or dividing by a negative number, you are going to flip the inequality sign. So if it's going this way, you're going to flip it to go the other way. That's the only difference, okay? I'm going to show you a couple of examples. First, how you solve an inequality, and then how do you solve one where you're going to actually have to flip. Okay, so first, like I said, you're going to solve this just as if you would solve an equation. So we are going to make our do, I got to change this here to drawing. And we are going to make our do, undo chart. I wish I could write a little bit more even there. So start with x, okay? What's happening to x? Oh, well, he's been multiplied by 2, as you can see, and we've added 1. So we're going to do all of our operations first, right? This time, though, instead of putting an equal sign, we are going to put our inequality sign. So those are what inequalities are. And that is 11. So same thing, opposite of add 1, subtract 1. Opposite of multiply by 2, divide by 2, okay? And then after that, you're going to say, all right, x is greater than or equal to, that's what the little line underneath means. And so 11 minus 1 is 10, and 10 divided by 2 is going to give us 5. So x is greater than or equal to and 5, and that's your final answer. So that's what it's going to look like, okay? Now we're going to go over here to example 2 when you're actually going to have to do a like a flip here, okay? So same thing, we're going to make our do, undo chart. So here goes, do, undo. So start with x. So this time, x is actually being multiplied by a -2, so be careful with that one there. So x is being multiplied by -2, and you're also adding 5, right? And that is less than 11, so use that inequality there. So now, do all your inverse operations. So the opposite of add 5 is subtract 5. Opposite of multiply by -2 is divide by -2. And then, so kind of just work up backwards here. So 11 minus 5 is 6, and 6 divided by -2 is -3. And so our sign was going this way, okay? But because I divided by a negative, you're going to flip that sign. So this is what I mean. So instead of x being less than, you're going to flip that sign, and x is going to be greater than -3. That's my final answer, and that's what I mean by flip your sign. You only do this when you divide or multiply, like I did right here, by a negative number, okay? All right, the second part to inequalities is when you have to graph them. So I need you to write this part down and kind of take note of it. So after you solve it, we're going to make a number line. And if you have, when you make your plots, if you are using a less than or greater than sign, you are going to use an open circle, okay? But if you have a greater than or equal to, like this with the little line underneath it, then you are going to use a closed circle. This is super important, so kind of jot that down here. Open circle for these guys, closed circle for these guys. All right, remember that. All right, now on to graphing, okay? So, graph the inequality. So let's say you solved the whole thing, and now you need to put this on a number line. So you get a straight line, and you are going to kind of number it here. So x is greater than 5. Okay, so if x is greater than 5 or x is bigger than 5, maybe I'm going to start here with 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and maybe I put a 4 here. You don't have to start exactly on 1 or 0. Maybe I put some arrows just showing that it goes each way. So if x is bigger than 5, am I going to use an open circle or closed? Well, because it's just a greater than sign, this one is going to be an open circle. So on the 5, I need to put an open circle only, okay? And I think I'm going to change my color here. Let's do green. Everything that's bigger than 5, you're going to shade this way. So I'm going to shade a line going this way showing that x is bigger than 5. So all the options are bigger than 5. Okay? All right, now this one, x is less than or equal to -2. So x is smaller than or equal to -2. So this time, because it's this symbol, I'm going to do a closed circle on my number line. So let's go ahead and make my number line here. So you're going to do 1, or just make a couple lines. So that since x is going to be less than -2, maybe I start a -2 here, make a -3, -4, just kind of like pick your own scale here. And you are going to put a closed circle right here on -2. So make that a closed circle, that's important. And if x is less than -2, all the numbers that are like smaller than -2 is what you're going to highlight. So we're making our line go this way this time. Okay? And that's how you graph inequalities.